Coach, a rather dominating 40-14 win over Crown in St. Bonifacius on Saturday night has your team at 4-0 to start the season. Has Northwestern reached its full potential in your opinion?
No, we always want to reach our full potential at the end of the season. So that's really our goal, is to be the best that we can be by the end of the year.
The Eagles started the game with a kickoff return for a touchdown. You had a pick six in the second quarter, and you were pitching a shutout late into the fourth quarter. What was your single greatest takeaway from Saturday night's game?
Yeah, I think there's always adversity to overcome, and how to deal with adversity is something that's important for us, especially as we continue to move on and have a big game this week. There was definitely some adversity to overcome on Saturday, and even though maybe it didn't show up in the scoreboard, definitely there, and we'll get better at that.
You coached at Crown for a few years before coming to this side of town. What's it like for you when you go back there? I know that the staff has changed and the team plays on a different home field now, but what's it like for you when you go back there?
Yeah, it's always nice to go back to Crown. I like to walk around the building, and certainly there's been a lot of changes in the 14 years that I've been gone. And most of the people that I work with there in the athletic department are gone, if not all. And so it's nice to go back. Love the new situation with their field. They've done a nice job with that. So glad to be back home here at Northwestern.
All eyes, as you said, all eyes are going to be on your team this week as you head north to take on St. Scholastica, who is also undefeated so far in 2014. And Northwestern beat the Saints 2 years ago up in Duluth, and then they came down here and won last year. So given that St. Scholastica has gone to 3 straight NCAA tournaments, is this a game that your team kind of mentally circles on the calendar before going into the year?
Yeah, I think, you don't ever want to put one game ahead of the other, because it's one game at a time, as we said, coach speak. But, yeah, certainly, they're the reigning champs over the last 3 years. And so it's a big game for us. It's probably a big game for them, too. They know that we're going to give it our best shot every time we play Scholastica, and certainly everybody does, because that's what happens when you're the reigning champion.
St. Scholastica has a new head coach in Kurt Ramler after their former coach, Greg Carlson, retired last spring. How difficult is it to face a team that's under new leadership and potentially a new playbook?
If we played them one of the first games of the season, it'd be a lot tougher, but we have 4 games of theirs now on film, so you can kind of get a look at their tendencies and things of that nature. Ramler was a great quarterback at St. John's. He had a nice career as the head coach at Carleton, and now there at Scholastica is off to a great start.
What do you see on film from them thus far in your early watching?
Well, one of the things that Scholastica is, and they've always been a little bit balanced, but I think even more balanced under Ramler in regard to running and passing, and so that keeps you a little bit off balance as far as defense, and they're still the same Scholastica defense, in which it'll be tough to move the football, but I'm confident with our Northwestern group.
You talked about having 4 games of film, and St. Scholastica has the same amount of film on you. So being nearly halfway through the season, are you introducing new plays and sets on offense and defense, or do you kind of somewhat stick with the old faithful motto of if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Yeah, you're always trying to work on fundamentals, as I said. You're always going to add a few things here and there, both offensively and defensively. Probably kicking game is the thing that changes the least. But fundamentals, and then, just doing a few certain things on defense and offense that maybe you haven't done before to help for that particular opponent each week.
Awesome. Well, have a great week of practice, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Greg.